Hey, it's Jamaison, and I have this beautiful poinsettia, which is a special streaky blend from D&L Art Glass Supply. This is Bullseye glass, and they had this custom made for themselves, and they shared some with me, and I just love it. In fact, I might like that side better. But I am going to cut it down. So these are 10 by 10s, but it has the rolled edge, and I can't, for my project, I'm not going to use that rolled edge. So I'm going to cut these down into some squares, and then I'm going to clear cap these and do a full fuse. But at first, I'm going to embellish the clear. So I'm going to get my glass cut. You don't need to see that, but I'm going to get the glass cut, and then I'm going to come back and show you what I'm going to do to the clear to give what I hope is a fairly unique look to these pieces. All right, so I've got my glass cut. So I've got my two base pieces. These are 9 by 9s. I'm going to clean them up well, and I'm going to dust them with clear powder and put them on the shelf because I'm capping them with this clear. Now, you don't have to do the clear powder. I like to do that. I think it minimizes bubbles, particularly on Bullseye. You do what you want to do, but that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to clean these. I'm going to dust them with powder, put them on my shelf, and then I'm going to come back and show you what I'm doing with the clear top layer that I'm going to cap these with. All right, here's what I'm going to do. So it's been a while since I've done this, like a long time, because the last time I think I did this was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. It was early on in my video journey on YouTube and in my fusing journey. So let's hope that I have luck again the second time. So what I've got here, let me pull over here. I've got a clean sheet of my clear glass, and I've got a Versamark stamp. So this is a watermark stamp pad. So it's basically just a clear stamp pad. It's got some gluey kind of stuff on it. And I've got a couple of stamps that I bought secondhand that have snowflakes on them. So I thought both of these were fun. They've clearly been used before. I tried to clean them a little bit with alcohol, and they'll be fine. They'll be good enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp, and basically all I'm doing is putting kind of clear glue on my stamp here. The problem is it's going to be hard to kind of see this, but I'm going to then carefully place down the stamp and pick it back up. And you don't want to smush it around much, because then you're going to mess up your pattern. So I'm going to do this one now, just kind of get that all loaded up. Well, crap. All right, it's going to go right there. Try to see if I can see. Yep, if I hold this up to the light in the right way, I can see that imprint a little bit. It's not great, but it's good enough. So I'm gonna do another one here. Just push down, lift up. Try not to like twist. Do this one again. And all I'm doing is kind of trying to put some random snowflake patterns. Man, I wish I could see this a little bit better. Across my glass in different spots. And then I'll show you what I'm doing next. This ends up getting a little messy, but it should be cute. I think I'm gonna put one right there. All right, we'll call that done. Now I'm gonna move these out of the way, because what comes next is a little bit of a mess. So I bought this Slice of the Moon brand mica powder. This one is silvery white pearl. And I bought this on Amazon, because of course I get everything on Amazon. And you can find this, it's $8 for a fairly significant sized tub of it. And what I'm going to do is dust this on here, and it goes everywhere. So I'm going to be all glittery by the time I'm done with this. I've got a sheet of paper here because I want to try to capture what I don't use if I can. So I've got a makeup brush, and I find that this is just a nice, oops, didn't mean to actually rub that on there. This is just a nice way to kind of move this around without disturbing my pattern too much. So let's see here. What's the best way? I might just use a scoop. I hadn't thought this through, but I'm going to use a little scoop here. And I'm just going to sprinkle this mica powder over most of where I think I have my pattern. And then I'm going to fire this full fuse up. So I am not capping the mica. I am just firing this face up. And what mica is touching the surface of the glass will fuse into the glass and create a little bit of an iridescent shimmer, almost kind of holographic look. And it's going to be very subtle, but it is beautiful when it works out that way. So now all I'm doing is very lightly, you can see, hopefully you can see those snowflakes kind of coming to life there. So I'm just very lightly kind of working this mica powder onto my snowflake design. So it looks like I didn't get a very good impression there because I've only got about a half a snowflake there. I didn't get a very good stamp, but the rest of that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to pick this up and now just try to dust off the extra as much as I can, because only the layer of mica powder that's touching the glass is going to stay. So even after I fire this, when I wipe it off, I may get some more mica that kind of comes off as I'm wiping it off after it's been fired, but there will be enough that will have fused into the glass. So let's see, you can see that. Okay, so where I dropped that stamp, look, I've got kind of an extra impression there. This one's a fairly good snowflake. I could have gotten a little bit better. That one's pretty good. This one's only half a snowflake. That one's actually really decent. So because I dropped this one and I'm not thrilled with it, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and clean this and start over. I'm gonna recapture my mica here, and then I'm gonna do this one over, which you can do. I mean, the stamp just wipes off, so I'm just gonna clean my glass and completely start over and try to get a better impression. The snowflakes themselves, I like the style of these. I just need to do a little bit better job. So that was my first attempt. I'm going to turn off the camera, clean this all up, and do it again. And hopefully have two, I'm gonna do 2 of these projects. So hopefully have 2 of the finished ones that look really good. All right, I'm back. Boy, I'm not kidding when I tell you this stuff gets everywhere. There is little magic gold, silvery dust everywhere. Not gold, but I don't know if you can tell. I have a remote right here. It's got stuff on it. It is everywhere. I decided to put gloves on because that might help me control it at least off my hands a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna try this again. So I'm going to get my stamp pad, go for it, and I'm not gonna record all of this just because that's gonna make for a long video, but I'm going to do this, what you just saw. I'm gonna try it again, and hopefully it turns out, whoops, hit the camera. Hopefully it turns out a little bit better this time. All right, I am much happier with how those turned out. Here's the other one. I've already put the one on the kiln shelf. Let me go put these in and I'll take the camera over and show you that. This is a big mess. I can't underestimate or emphasize how much of a mess this is, but I'm very pleased with these. All right, it's a mess, but I think it's going to be amazing. So I'm gonna fire these, and again, it's going to leave just a ghosty little halo of those impressions on there, but once they full fuse, they'll be solid into the glass, and I will show you the finals when they come out. All right, so my pieces are out of the kiln. Now, just a word of warning about this mica and how it goes everywhere. If you've not used it before, we talked a little bit about that, but my kiln is yonder. I don't know, 6 feet over there, I suppose. And I had some other pieces that went into the kiln for a full fuse, and when I pulled them out this morning, I noticed one of them, it was more noticeable on one than the other, had little mica dust all over the surface of it. Now, it ended up being a super cool effect. It almost gave like a like an aventurine kind of look to it. So I'm okay with it. It did not ruin my project, but just know this stuff gets airborne and it is everywhere. And so you've got to wear respiration and, well, I don't know if you got to, but I certainly did. But you also just have to be prepared for the fact that this stuff gets everywhere. So you may even try to, do it in a more controlled environment than what I was able to do here. Okay, so I just pulled these out of the kiln. I haven't done anything to them. And what I'm going to do, I tend to remember, you see how silvery these are. I tend to remember that I got more of a kind of a ghosty look off of the last one that I did, but I think it was because I essentially tack fused the mica on during a slump firing. I don't believe it was during a full fuse firing. So I think as I pull these out, what I think is going to happen is these are going to remain much more silver than I remember that other project being. And if that's the case, I'm okay with that because these are gorgeous as they are. Now I'm confident some mica is going to come off when I go to do this, but let's just see. Let me just move this out of my way here. And you know what? I'm just going to move my bar so it's out of the way. All right. So I'm also not going to use my physical towel that I use for a lot of these or a lot of cleaning. I'm going to use a paper towel this time just because I don't want all that extra mica in my towel and to come off on other projects. Okay. So yeah, so it leaves quite a bit on there. I'm not sure that you're going to be able to get the effect. Let's see if I can show you. I'm not sure if you can tell how much is coming off. There is a little bit that's coming off, but not much. So like this snowflake, I've done 1/2 of it. So this half still has the original mica on it. This is the half that I wiped. I don't think you can tell much difference at all. From my vantage point looking at it, I can barely tell. It maybe dulls it just slightly. That's how I can tell that it's been wiped, but not too bad at all. So check that out. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. On that glass, this is neat. Here, maybe before I do any cleaning. There, now you can kind of see. You can kind of see how much mica is coming off there. But still, there's a ton that got fired into the glass and left behind, and it is awesome looking. Now, I used that silvery white mica, which gives a really beautiful look here. Honestly, most mica that you just buy at the craft store or on Amazon that is not meant for glass fusing, if it's got a color, mostly that color is going to burn out. So honestly, I mean, you have to do your own testing, but most color that I've bought in the past has burned out. Now it still leaves kind of a neat white silvery look to it. So it would be interesting to try it, but even if I had used a green or a red or a blue or peacock colored mica, hot pink, it probably would have all burned out to be about the same color that you see here. You got to test your own, whatever you buy. But if you want a very specific color in your firing, then you probably need to buy mica that's specifically sold as glass fusing so that your results are guaranteed. But if you're just looking for something cheap and inexpensive, I'll put this mica in my Amazon store in case you're interested in trying it. And I always appreciate any purchases that come from Amazon because it does help me out and help support my videos. I am going to now slump these. I think they're going to be fabulous. I can't wait to see them done. But there you go. That is a fun effect. And because I capped this glass with clear, those snowflakes, from my vantage point, appear to be hovering over that beautiful poinsettia glass from D&L Art Glass. So let me go ahead and slump them, and I'll show you the finished pieces. All right. These have slumped, and I love them. Very happy with how these turned out. So if you like this effect, give it a shot. I actually learned this a couple of years ago now, several years ago from Nancy Sala, who posted a video on YouTube. I will put her video in my video notes in case you want to go back and see the original. This takes some trial and error. It's a little finicky, as you saw. And as I mentioned, this mica gets everywhere. But boy, it's a neat effect. I'm super, super happy. So thanks again to D&L for sending me their custom glass. And I am just super excited to take these to my show this coming weekend and see how quickly they fly off the shelf. See you later. Bye-bye.